What?
Hey, Angelo. This is the exterminator you called for your rat problem. Account's looking a little thin.
No one gets paid until what needs to get done gets done.
Nope, that's not the rules. No money, no honey. Whoa, here's your boy right now. With about 20 of his new best friends. I'm still seeing zeros over here, Angie.
Stop being cute and do your job.
Oh, they're taking him out of the car now. In about 30 seconds, your window is going to close forever.
Okay, relax. There was an accounting error. We said it.
Now double it. You got 10 seconds.
We're not the kind of people you play with.
Did you threaten me? This dude's gonna get a sore throat from all the singing he's about to do.
You son of a...
Pleasure doing business with you, Angie.
On the set. This is Michael Faulkner, and it is showtime at the August 2nd, 2016 edition of the weekly Podioplex, brought to you on the Chronic Riff Network. This week's birthdays include Amelia Fox, Jason Momoa, Kevin Smith, Evangeline Lilly, Daniel Day Kim, Soleil Moon Frye, J.K. Rowling, which is convenient given that new Harry Potter chapter, and President Barack Obama. Starting the box office report, the box office got vengeance for Treadstone. At number 10 is The Legend of Tarzan, down 3 from 7th. At number 9 is Finding Dory, down 3 from 6th. At 8 is new release Nerve, failing the challenge with $9.4 million. That's well below expectations, and the closest comparison is Entourage, which still nearly doubled Nerve's opening results. Critics offered up a 55% approval rating, but audiences were more forgiving with an A- cinema score. In 7th is Ghostbusters, down 2 from 5th. And finishing out this week's bottom 5 is Lights Out, down 3 from 3rd. By the way, Warner Brothers is happy enough about this film's performance that a sequel has already been greenlit. The top 5 this week begin with Ice Age Collision Course, down 1 from 4th with $11 million, adds to a total of $42.9 million. In 4th place is The Secret Life of Pets, adding $18.9 million to a total of $296.9 million. In 3rd place is new release Bad Moms, debuting to $23.8 million. That's under expectations, but it's almost on par with comparable films like Bridesmaids and The Boss. The film got an A cinema score from predominantly older female audiences, and critics offered up a 63% approval rating. Beaming into 2nd this week is last week's winner, Star Trek Beyond, adding $24.8 million to a total of $106.5 million. Yes, it broke $100 million, but that's also a large 60% drop from opening weekend. This performance brings into question just how much Paramount is willing to sink into the already greenlit 4th installment of the post-reboot franchise. Taking over in 1st this week is Jason Bourne, debuting to $59.2 million. That's the 2nd largest opening behind the Bourne Ultimatum for the 5-film franchise, and is a bit surprising after a 9-year hiatus from the title role for star Matt Damon. The premiere is well above the Bourne Legacy, which was a bit of a stopgap measure for the franchise during Damon's absence. Bourne earned an A- cinema score, which is equivalent to Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which starred Bourne veteran Jeremy Renner and premiered on this weekend last year. Rogue Nation was the 2nd highest premiering film in that franchise, and Bourne is favorable in comparison, as it debuted slightly higher. Critics, on the other hand, were not as favorable, with a 57% rating compared to Rogue Nation's 93%. Let's close out the box office report with a look at winning in years gone by. 5 years ago in 2011, Rise of the Planet of the Apes struck number 1 with $54.8 million. 10 years ago in 2006, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, won the weekend with $47 million. 20 years ago in 1996, A Time to Kill was the winner for a second week with $13.3 million. 30 years ago in 1986, Aliens took the title for a third week with $7.1 million, And yes, thanks Ripley, because initial estimates had Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, ahead of Aliens, and while I don't have anything against Friday the 13th Part 6, it's Aliens, man. And to wrap things up, 40 years ago in 1976, The Omen once again took the box office crown its sixth weekend of release with $2.9 million. The box office premieres for August 5th are Born contenders, starting with this week's headliner, Suicide Squad, an action thriller starring Will Smith, Jared Leto, and Margot Robbie.
We have got company.
Betsy. Stupid bats, you're ruining date night!
A secret government agency recruits imprisoned supervillains to execute dangerous Black Ops missions in exchange for clemency. Suicide Squad is rated PG-13. The other title this week is 9 Lives, a comedy starring Kevin Spacey, Jennifer Garner, and Robbie Amell.
Hello? Someone, anyone. I'm trapped inside a cat's body. Somebody help me. You, in the horrible green jacket.
So, how you doing in there?
The nightmare continues.
Mr. Brand, this is no dream.
You can hear me?
Shh, I'm a cat whisperer, and I'm the only one who can hear you.
What did you do to me?
I didn't do anything, you fell off a roof.
Fine. How do I get out of this?
Wrong question. You should ask, how did I get into this?
Fine. How did I get into this?
Keep asking that question. I hope you figure it out.
What does that mean?
Your body won't last long. You're gonna be stuck in there for the rest of your life.
You get me out of here, you son of a...
Calm down, Mr. Brand. You're a cat. It's not the end of the world.
I hate cats.
That's what makes this so perfect.
A stuffy businessman finds himself trapped inside the body of his family's cat. This sounds like a film right out of the Disney playbook from the 1970s and 80s. 9 Lives is rated PG. There are also 3 titles on this week's limited slate, and you can find those in the show notes. Next up is a look at the home entertainment slate for the week of August 2nd, and I'll begin with new release on DVD and Blu-ray, and that list begins with Meet the Blacks, a comedy starring Mike Epps, Charlie Murphy, and Paul Mooney. After Carl Black comes into some unexpected funds, he takes his family and leaves the hustling lifestyle behind for something better. Carl, his new wife Lorena, son Carl Jr., daughter Allie Black, and cousin Cronut pack up and move to Beverly Hills. But it turns out Carl couldn't have picked a worse time to move. They arrive right around the time of the annual purge, when all crime is legal for 12 hours. Meet the Blacks is rated R. The second title is Confirmation, a history drama starring Kerry Washington, Wendell Pierce, and Greg Kinnear. Judge Clarence Thomas's nomination to the United States Supreme Court is called into question when former colleague Anita Hill testifies that he had sexually harassed her. Confirmation is not rated. Number 3 on the list is Batman: The Killing Joke, an action drama starring Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and Tara Strong. It's the history of the clown prince of crime, from his humble beginnings as a struggling comedian to his fateful encounter with Batman that changes both of their lives forever. Years later, and now escaped from Arkham Asylum, the Joker devises a plan to prove that one bad day can make anyone as insane as he is. Batman: The Killing Joke is rated R. Number 4 is Keanu, an action comedy starring Jordan Peele, Keegan-Michael Key, and Jason Mitchell. Friends Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key hatch a plan to retrieve a stolen cat by posing as drug dealers for a street gang. Keanu is rated R. The 5th title is Mother's Day, a comedy drama starring Jennifer Aniston, Julia Roberts, and Kate Hudson. This is a star-studded ensemble comedy about intertwining stories tied to Mother's Day. Mother's Day is rated PG-13. And the sixth title is Red Sonja, Queen of Plagues, an animated action-adventure film starring Misty Lee. Red Sonja, the she-devil with a sword, intends to pay back a blood debt owed to the one man who has gained her respect, even if it means leading a doomed army to their certain deaths. Who is Dark Anicia? And how has this fearsome warrior accomplished what neither god nor demon has been able to do? Force Sonja to her knees in surrender. An epic tale of blood, lust, and vengeance, Queen of the Plagues takes Red Sonja from the depths of her own grave to the heights of battlefield glory. Red Sonja, Queen of Plagues, is not rated. Swinging by new releases on digital video, there are two titles there. The first is Chosen, a war drama starring Luke Mabley, Anna Ularu, and Harvey Keitel. An unassuming young lawyer leads a fight against the Nazis near the end of the Second World War. Chosen is rated R. The other title is The Huntsman: Winter's War, an action-adventure film starring Chris Hemsworth, Charlize Theron, and Jessica Chastain. As two evil sisters prepare to conquer the land, two renegades, Eric the Huntsman, who previously aided Snow White in defeating Ravenna, and his former lover, Sarah, set out to stop them. The Huntsman: Winter's War is rated PG-13. Moving right along to TV on DVD and Blu-ray, start things there with Blind Spot, Season 1 from 2015, starring Jamie Alexander, Sullivan Stapleton, and Rob Brown. Blind Spot tells the story of a beautiful woman who is found naked in Times Square with her body completely covered in cryptic, intricate tattoos. With no memories of her past and clueless about her own identity, this Jane Doe ignites the attention of the FBI when it's discovered that one of her mysterious tattoos bears the name of FBI agent Kurt Weller. As Weller and his teammates at the FBI begin to investigate the mysterious map of Jane Doe's strange tattoos, they are drawn into a high-stakes underworld that twists and turns through a labyrinth of secrets and revelations. The information they uncover might ultimately change the world. The other TV title this week is The Blacklist, Season 3 from 2015, starring James Spader, Megan Boone, and William Sadler. In the third season of the hit drama The Blacklist, FBI agent Elizabeth Keene is now a fugitive and on the run with criminal mastermind Raymond Red Reddington. With Assistant FBI Director Harold Cooper under investigation, a conflicted agent Donald Ressler leads the FBI task force on a massive manhunt for Liz and Red. As they struggle to stay one step ahead of their former colleagues, Liz immerses herself into Red's underworld of disreputable contacts and covert operations. Liz is on an unpredictable journey of self-discovery, and all the pieces of her life, including her indefinable relationship with Tom, will be drastically challenged as she continues to believe Red holds all the answers. I'll wrap up the Homertainment slate with Blu-rays from the past, and this week I bring you one title, that's The Titanic, a television miniseries from 1996 starring Peter Gallagher, George C. Scott, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. This is the story of the 1912 sinking of the largest luxury liner ever built, the tragedy that befell over 2,000 of the rich and famous, as well as of the poor and unknown passengers aboard the doomed ship. The Titanic is not rated. After this brief break for About a Shameless Podcast cross-promotion, the weekly Podioplex will continue.
Are you as sick of the endless, poorly realized remakes as we are? That's where our show comes in. Every 2 weeks, we discuss a classic movie actively in development for a remake. We figure out what works and what doesn't, throw a dash of humor at it, and then we craft our own remake. By the end of every episode, we'll have our film gift wrapped and ready to go for all of those Hollywood suits. We will remake this movie right. Remake This Movie Right can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, your favorite podcast app, or just visit us at RemakeThisMovieRight.com. The next time you're watching a film that you love, just remember, it will be remade someday, and only you can make it better.
Welcome back. I have nothing for the quick flicks this week, but I do have plans to get this segment back on its feet soon. With that, we come to the end of this week's edition of the Weekly Podioplex. If you want to discuss anything you heard on this week's edition, please take a moment to get in touch. You can surf on over to the brand new homepage at chronicrift.com and leave an audio message right there on that website using your microphone. Call us up on the shiny new voicemail line at 1-844-674-3453 or write to weeklypodioplex@gmail.com. Of course, you can still tweet us on Twitter at usernames chronic_rift and weeklypodioplex. Give the Chronic Rift a thumbs up on Stitcher Radio and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. You can also find the Weekly Podioplex and the Chronic Rift on Facebook and Google+. If you haven't done so already, please stop on by and see the shows the Chronic Rift Network has to offer. There are the interview episodes of the Rift Regulars, the Spotlight interviews, Cyborgs, a Bionic podcast, the Batcave podcast, the G2V podcast, Generations Geek, presenting the transcription feature, the Doctor of the Dead, the Dan and Travis Show, the Sci-Fi Diner podcast, and so much more. Rumor has it there may also be a new edition of the Chronic Rift's main show coming soon. Stay tuned. Check us out and find the culture in pop culture. If you're interested in more of my adventures, take a quick trip to my blog, Creative Criticality, where I'm watching every episode of Doctor Who for the first time from the very beginning of the franchise and reviewing those stories in the Timestamps Project. The link to those reviews can be found in the show notes. If you decide to pick up any of this week's new releases, why not do it through our Amazon store? You get the newest entertainment at Amazon's low prices and high-quality service, and each purchase you make at that store supports the Chronic Rift Network. Your support keeps us on the air, and we appreciate your consideration. Look for the links to our best bets and the network store in our show notes, or click the Amazon box on the website. The Weekly Podioplex is a Lucky Shot production and is produced by John S. Drew. This is Michael Faulkner. Thanks for listening. Until next time, remember that popcorn, and I'll see you at the theater.
That's a wrap!